Aries, welcome on in. I have got my herbal tea with honey in it because I just did Libra, your opposite, and damn near lost my voice. For no reason. It's probably their energy, but you know, that's your opposite. So I'm wondering if there's issues with communication for you as well, because I definitely see with the astrology, yeah, communication could be coming up for you. But let's see where this goes, and maybe go watch the Libra reading, because you know, I think that sometimes there's mirroring going on, right? As your opposite, I mean, as an Aquarian, I benefit from the Leo readings in that sense, because there's mirroring. But let's start with clearing the energy. Let me say that I've been looking forward to this reading because I've been concerned about y'all. The nodes have been in Aries and Libra, so I mean, you and Libra have been hit pretty hard. There's been a lot of losses. There's been a lot of holy shifts. But my concern for y'all is that Saturn is going into your sign next. It's in Pisces right now. So my concern is that, you know, what's happening for you at this time is setting the stage for that that Saturn energy. And if you're approaching 28, 29 years old, you are hitting a Saturn return, and this is a major check-in to say, where are you at in your life right now? Are you doing what you're here to do? Are you on mission? Are you on point? And there are other key moments in life when Saturn opposes and then comes back around. So depending on where you're at in that Saturn return, your age stage in life, it's a sobering, it's a maturing process. And some of you, what's going on right now is setting the stage for exactly how this karma is going to unfold. And I'm sorry to say, but I know several Aries right now who are playing with fire because they think it's fun times. And I'm sorry, but don't F around and find out with Saturn in Aries, okay? It's you know, Saturn is not about playtime. Saturn is about you gotta learn. You gotta learn. And I'm sorry if I sound like your mom, but it's really, you know, I'm saying this as somebody who went through this. Sun in Aquarius, I went through this. And I've been somewhat going through this Pisces transit as well. And I remember when I was talking to my daughter, who is a Pisces, and I said, you better get ready. Saturn's about to go in your sign. You're next. You see what I'm going through? Buckle up, because she had Jupiter going through her sign. Usually Jupiter will go through Aries. I'm sorry, it will go through a sign, a house, before Saturn gets there. And I said Aries, I got ahead of myself, because Jupiter was in Aries earlier this year. So y'all got some blessings, you got some positive things that came in for you, but how did you do with that? Because then Saturn comes in there right after to do like cleanup crew. And it's like a pruning that happens. There's abundance, and then there's pruning after that. And so I was warning her, and she didn't want to listen. Oh, well, you just have a difficult chart. Well, hell yeah, I do. But, you know, listen to wise counsel, you know. And she didn't really listen. And now that she's been through the better portion of it, she's like, oh, God, yes. I hear you now. I hear you. So I hope you hear me. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. And I mean, because I understand the seriousness of it, that's like more reason for me to put you a little ahead of the other signs, ahead of mine, right? I'm going to be doing Aquarius next, and Leo and Scorpio after this. So I put my own sign and my opposite sign behind y'all. That's how important I think it is. And I'm going to tell you, the Aries I know, they're going through a rough ride. The things I could tell you. Matter of fact, I just got a voice text from somebody who was bitching about an Aries female. And what they were saying, rough. And I'm not taking sides. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just like, this is a problem. As y'all get closer and closer to Saturn in your sign, the challenges come in. So I'm going to get off of that a bit. I just want to drive the message home as to why this reading for me was so important to get out to y'all. If I'm talking too slow with my southern drawl, make sure that you hit the gear icon. I think it's in the top right or left hand corner on your mobile device. And click on the playback speed and put it generally at 1.25 would be a good time to speed up my talking to something more acceptable. Let me start off with the energy for September. What's a general energy for Aries in September, particularly with this lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 17th? Please show me. Please show me. And I got something here that kind of went sideways and hid from me. Sanctuary. Surrender. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. Oh my gosh, the synchronicities. Your opposite Libra got that. I'm telling you. Mirroring going on. You know how many cards are in this deck? And I cleared this. I cleared that deck when I finished that reading, and I cleared it and shuffled it here. So this is definitely for you, okay? This is not by accident. What on earth am I looking at? Is that like a snake on her head? I don't know if that's a snake on her head or I'm seeing a snake on her head. And I'm hearing crown of thorns. It's clearly not a crown of thorns. Why? Something on your head. Something is at the top of your head, like on your mind, okay? And it's dark. It's dark. And you need to seek refuge from that, is what I'm getting out of that energy. We're going to see how this unfolds. Usually when I get this mirroring with the signs, it's somewhat similar, but it'll be different in some kind of way. It's not going to be exactly the same as Libra. And it's going to take me some time, but I am doing a lot of scorpionic type stuff, and I'm going to look at your chart at the time of this eclipse and look at where Scorpio is. Some of you may have prominent Scorpio placements and I'm seeing it's in your 7th house, having to do, no, my bad, 8th house, having to do with, and it looks empty right now. I'm going to be straight. It looks like it's void right now. Like there's nothing going on. And that has to do with intimacy, sex, power dynamics. And there's some kind of emptiness there. Okay. Let me shuffle and talk to you about the astrology, see what cards come out while we're talking the astrology, see if they open up for us. This lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 17th is hitting your 12th house, having to do with your spiritual life. It's very 5D, but it can also have to do with self-sabotage, mental illness, solitude. 12th house is like an area of prisons, mental institutions, hospitals. It's also a house of healing, okay? And Saturn is there at this time along with Neptune, so I think some of you are dealing with some unseen forces at work in your life. I don't know if you understand fully the karma, the limitations that you have been dealing with. It's like, you know, there's some kind of pushback going on, and it's specifically in your day-to-day life. And so this is getting illuminated at the time of the eclipse, and I really would, you know, ask you, I would encourage you to please, around the 17th, definitely put some time aside to spend time with spirit and use your intuition and tune into, you know, doing prayer, meditation, and all of that, to be very spirit-led, and try to use that Neptunian energy to look behind the veil and see hidden enemies. How have you sabotaged yourself? Has there been escapism in your life? What is the role that escapism plays in your life? Now, I'm getting something intuitively about drugs, alcohol, just basically Neptuning the beep out, not dealing with reality, being evasive. And now you've got Saturn there saying, look at this. You can't run from this anymore. You can't hide from this anymore. You can't hide out in the 12th house on this. This is something that could potentially make you sick, okay? The sun at this time is in your 6th house, another house having to do with health and healing, but this is more about your daily body, your physical body. Some of you have been pushing back and resisting, doing some kind of healing work in your daily life. Some of you right now, the spotlight is on what you're doing on your day-to-day with, you know, routines in your daily life. But there's something going on with, like I said, your hidden body in that 12th house. So just like Libra, a lot of these houses that are getting activated right now are houses that I would hone in on if I was doing a body astrology reading. So just putting it out there. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, a little bit about healing, because this is, we're talking about those axes, right? So if it's not physical healing, it could be emotional, spiritual healing that needs to occur. But let me go back to this and see. With Virgo in your 6th house, the things that maybe need to get healed with your daily body possibly have to do with tuning into your gut feelings, having more of an awareness of your intuition operating within you. Might have to do with anxiety rising up in you from time to time. Maybe, you know, Spirit is trying to guide you and say, go where the peace is. This is what I'm really feeling. Go where the peace is. Do you feel peace in this decision? Tune into your gut. Tune into your body, your feeling. What is your body telling you? What is your gut telling you? Are you tuning into that? If you're not feeling peace, if you're feeling anxiety, Spirit is trying to tell you something is off in the force. There's something off in the force. And it might come also in the form of, not to be funny here, but, you know, it could be gas, bloating, digestive issues. I mean, that's what comes up when we talk about Virgo. But side note, I'm going to tell you a story. When I was, and this is about these digestive issues and trusting your gut, literally. When I was a teenager, I went to a friend's house and I was feeling fine until I got out of the car, and immediately when I got out of the car, my stomach turned. And for a moment there, I thought, oh God, I'm getting sick. Should I go back home because I don't want to get sick at his house, you know? And I don't know. I just brushed it off because I was probably about 17 at that time, so I really didn't understand these things. I didn't know that Spirit was communicating to me. So I just brushed it off, and I continued into his house, and we visited, and nothing happened. And I thought, well, yeah, that was nothing. And then a couple weeks later, I found out his house had been raided by the police. And the time at which I got out of that car to go into his house, they were being surveilled. God was trying to warn me, don't go into that house. Because as it turns out, his mom was dealing drugs. They were making and selling drugs out of that house. And it was being surveilled. It was a drug house. So, you know, I didn't pay attention to my intuition, or I just didn't know any better at the time. But Spirit was trying to warn me. And so I'm sharing that story with you so you get more in tune. Pay attention when things suddenly shift in your body. Pay attention to your gut instinct. Because some of you, I am sensing with this Virgo in your 6th house, and then what's going on in your 12th at the time of this eclipse, there is some issue here of needing to be more tuned into the promptings of the Spirit, needing to be more open and receptive to those promptings, less dismissive. You know, sometimes y'all can be in a hurry, but then it gets sober and then it gets real, especially with Saturn going into your sign. Okay. And then, you know, Pisces in your 12th house, super spiritual, but again, this could be bringing up issues of autoimmune system, immune system deficiency. So please protect your immune system. And I most encourage natural immunity. Not this big pharma shit, okay? But natural immunity, boosting that. Also, watch out with the water you're drinking. You need to drink pure water. Make sure that it is clean, filtered. Also, watch out for any kind of circulation clotting issues with the blood. Watch out with your feet. Take care of your feet. There could be some issue, and if it's not around the 17th, it could be, you know, all these health issues are basically expanding over the next 6 months. So if you don't see it around the 17th, it's a health issue that could develop over the next 6 months. It's a general reading, so you have to take it how it applies. And I'm not saying that things are going to, matter of fact, happen. I'm saying there, with the energy, there is a proclivity towards it. There's a predisposition towards it. But if you heed warnings and you take precautions, the likelihood of preventing it are pretty high. This could also bring about some kind of psychic attack or spiritual crisis that may come up. Depression, especially right next to Saturn. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but you need to guard your spirit with this energy. If there are illnesses, it is possible that they could be mysterious or misdiagnosed. And it might have to do, I don't know, I'm getting something with incisions, needles. Getting also separation on a more, and I'm getting a heart issue as well for some of you. Protect your heart. Again, this is blood flow, what we're talking about here. There might be some kind of, if this is not a physical issue with the heart and blood flow and circulation, this is feeling brokenhearted because of separation. And separation might have occurred with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone with prominent placements like that. It may also have to do simply with a matter of what someone feels is practical or stable or secure, like they've taken what they feel is a practical approach, but unfortunately it's led to some kind of separation, division. That's rough. Some of you may feel like you are dealing with, you're in some kind of cold, dark place. I'm sorry, like this is getting darker than I thought. Like you're in a cold, dark place. It's like you're cut off from creature comforts. You're cut off from any nurturing, any anything that would provide comfort to you. And that is something that I'm getting a harshness again with Saturn there in that 12th house. Something that really needs to get healed. I do feel that your mind is largely going to be on your day-to-day life, and yes, maybe your daily body, your, health routines, rituals, work, vocation, habits, things like that you're doing on the day-to-day, and there's definitely a spotlight on it with the sun there. Some of you are being forced to think on and look at you know, how to heal, how to have more healthy day-to-day healing practices. To counter whatever this is going on, with possibly an ending in something that you have put your faith in. Maybe some, I'm sorry, wishy-washy thinking, maybe that has caused you to self-sabotage. It's like, it is not based at all, Neptune and Pisces in 12th house. But then you got Saturn right there telling you to sober up on it. Like, it's pretty, it's like a rude awakening, okay? Like, maybe you were in a nice dream, and then, it's like getting, I'm seeing a drill sergeant in your face waking you up at the crack of dawn. It's rude. It's a rude awakening. And nobody cares, okay? I really had no idea that I was gonna go down this rabbit hole, so I feel bad. I feel like I gotta apologize to y'all, because like I really didn't want to say that. I do see that y'all are going through a lot of changes with your status, your career. It's pretty intense. You have Jupiter in Gemini in your 3rd house, so a lot of communications going on, a lot of swift, fast changes going on, maybe having to do with your location, your locale. And it might be that you can get some kind of expansion or increased learning through where you're located. I am also seeing that you have Uranus and Taurus in your 2nd house, so there's just a continuation of, if you've been feeling like your money, your income has been unstable, it continues to remain so. I will be moving in the 3rd house. Not too far, probably next year, it'll be in your 3rd house. And so things are going to start getting unstable in terms of location and communication, like swift, fast, like that, okay? Right now, it looks like you're taking a lot of action in terms of home, family, sense of belonging, but you're getting some kind of pushback, potentially from a feminine energy, or a mother figure. And there's definitely some tug of war going on between your private life and your public life, your career and your home and family. There's a tug of war going on. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, and how could I not forget, how could I forget and not mention Chiron and Aries? Sweet Jesus. It's another reason why I'm like, I have to do this Aries reading for y'all. That's in your 1st house, and it's opposing Juno in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio at this time, at the time of this eclipse. So, I mean, listen, we're all collectively going through it, particularly those of you that are Gen Xers. We're going through a Chiron and Aries return. Sweet Jesus. It is really hitting all of us collectively in terms of self-worth issues. But for you, it's almost like you're getting some kind of pushback in your relationships with others. And it's probably messing with your confidence. I ain't gonna lie. It's probably messing with your sense of self-worth, because what the cards say, okay? I think I've said enough about that. And let me get a 5-card spread for Aries. And you know what? We're going to be reading for, we're going to move on to the month of October, all right? So let's see if we can get a 5-card spread for that, because I really didn't get many cards for September. We'll do a 5-card for October. And let me say that in October, there's going to be that solar eclipse in Libra, which is your opposite sign. So this is going to impact your 7th house, having to do with other people. Okay. You know, hey, listen, I know, like, y'all are the sign of I am, right? But here's the deal. Self, it implies others. You can't have one without the other. It's like we can talk about you, but when we talk about you, it's going to inevitably bring other people up, especially with this axis getting triggered, right? So the solar eclipse in your 7th house is a new beginning for you in terms of partnerships, significant others, contracts, commitments. And that's going to be unfolding over the next 6 months again, right? Whether I'm talking about the eclipse in September or October, eclipse energies emanate for the following 6 months. So in September, that was some kind of ending, completion, culmination, having to do with your spirituality, your health, right? Now this is a new beginning on October 2nd. A new beginning that will unfold over the following 6 months, okay? As you're dealing with that ending, that completion from the lunar eclipse in September, okay? Now, Jupiter is going to go retrograde in Gemini in your 3rd house on the 9th, and that's going to have you reflecting back upon maybe some decisions that you made to get expansion with your life. Maybe you're reevaluating what you thought you knew, the facts, the information. You're re-examining communications that went down, conversations, information, like I said, knowledge. You're re-examining what you thought you knew about getting expansion. And then Pluto is going to go direct in your 10th house on the 11th. And this is after having been retrograde, which has been bringing about a lot of internalized change, pressure. But once it goes direct, it's now external. Now the change is going on around you, and it's specifically happening with authority. Capricorn in the 10th house. You may be feeling a lot of pressure from people around you that are in positions of authority. Could be government, could be corporations, bosses, supervisors. And this would have to do with your status. It would have to do with your legacy. It has to do with your reputation out in the world. And then on the 13th, Mercury goes into Scorpio in your 8th house. So, you know, your mind is going to start shifting from thinking about what you're doing with your day-to-day life, your health, your service to others. And then it's going to shift into these very private matters having to do with sex, intimacy, power dynamics. Yeah, maybe surrender. Because 8th house and Scorpio is right, this like catharsis. The caterpillar has to give up the life it knew to become that butterfly. So you're having to release something, or you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it, I think, by mid-October. And Scorpio, 8th house, could be about other people's money. It could be debt, taxes. Government resources. Could also be your shadow, right? Your inner demons. How you are sabotaging yourself. Or really enemies in your midst, okay? And then by the 17th, we reach the full moon in Aries in your first house. My gosh, again, more reason for me to do this for you, because there's some ending or completion very personal to you that is occurring on the 17th. So is this like you're shedding? So what I'm hearing, and here you are, Aries, with a full card, taking a leap of faith. With every ending, there's a new beginning. I don't know if you see it though, because you might have a lot of options. Or again, I'm going to go back to that lunar eclipse back in September. Can you see it, or are you Neptuned out? You're like, woohoo, let's take a jump off of that cliff. I don't know where it's going to go. Maybe I'll just land in a nice fluffy cloud. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm sorry. Like, I love y'all's optimism. I really do. But sometimes, and I really, it's contagious, you know? I love it. I like the lightheartedness of Aries, because I'm so serious and sober. I like getting around Aries because they'll lighten me up. But sometimes I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Do not jump off that cliff, please. There will not be a nice fluffy cloud there waiting for you at the bottom. Please don't do it. Oh. On the positive, Venus will be going in Sagittarius in your 9th house. So, on the 17th as well. So, you will be perhaps pulling in some kind of higher knowledge, some kind of higher wisdom, all right, that you're attracting into your life. It's really quite spiritual, actually, and this is after a month that was really looking very spiritual to me too, right? Where the month prior in September, it's quite possible that you are having, at that lunar eclipse in September, you're having some kind of moment with spirit, okay? You're doing some kind of spiritual work, and then in October, Venus and Sagittarius in the 9th house, you start really finding yourself more attracted to expansive thinking, beliefs, higher knowledge, okay? Very spiritual. Some of you might be wanting to travel, or you could meet somebody traveling, or like a love interest, or you could meet a love interest at a higher a place of higher learning, or some kind of spiritual group or whatever like that. And then finally the sun going into your 9th house on the 22nd. Scorpio is a very spiritual house, a very spiritual sign in a very spiritual house 9th. I'm just telling you, like, it's looking super spiritual to me. I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to see what these cards have to say for October. Well, it looks like there's going to be a reunion, a reconciliation, a coming together. I mean, it looks like this is really positive in October. And it might have to do with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You yourself may have prominent water in your chart, so that could be you. It could also be someone who's like a healer, like an artist, a therapist, a doctor, somebody who does charitable work. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces could be relevant. But that seems to be the main issue, by the way. Spirituality, healing, okay? I'm sorry, did I? Yeah. The main issue is healing and emotional mastery, okay? In the past, there seems to have been a matter of commitment, support. Maybe a Taurus was relevant. And I'm also getting beliefs here. Something about beliefs. In the future, it looks like you're moving on. You're moving away from troubled waters. It might be a friend that's helping. I'm going to get some back support because I'm not feeling supported. Does that mean, were you not feeling supported in the past? I don't know. We're going to find out. What's hinging this all together is the Moon card, which has a lot to do with intuition, spirituality. It's very Piscean. Cancer might be relevant, but again, we're seeing more of this water coming. I'm getting a lot of water here. A lot of emotion, a lot of spirituality in October. The outcome is plans, decisions, and it might have to do with partnership. But let me see if I can get some more space here. Tell me more about yeah, this is again more about healing, and some of you might be overcome with some emotions, okay? Yes, absolutely. Around the time following, really coming into this month of October, you may feel like there's a lot of spiritual growth that is occurring, and you're getting more emotional mastery. It could be that somebody like a therapist is helping you with strong emotions. And I am concerned that there may be kind of some kind of, I'm getting something that's emotionally overwhelming perhaps. And it may be that, you know, this is something coming out of your heart. Again, I'm thinking back to that Three of Swords that came out before, some kind of separation or coldness. And now the heart is open, painfully so, and feeling something that maybe you've been going back and forth with. You have been trying to balance out these emotions. You have been, I'm getting like wrestling with different feelings, mixed feelings. And some of you are going through some changes that are causing strong emotions to rise up in you. Now, for some of you, you may encounter new love, and it might be that you are going from one option in love to another. And this may involve, like I said, a water sign male. But I think this has a lot more to do with emotional vulnerability, authenticity, deciding to let the heart rule. But for some of you, that may be a bit of a I don't want to say it's a struggle, but it's going to take some adaptation. It's going to take some of you may be deciding that you're going to prioritize healing some emotions in your life, because I get the feeling it wasn't a priority before. In the past, maybe you had beliefs about this. You had different beliefs, and again, more of this spiritual influence or a moral influence. So the cards are not really talking, and I am getting a feeling as I sit more with that card, I get this feeling of I'm above this. This is kind of a condescending, like, look at these people just kind of groveling for his attention. He's kind of got his nose up in the air like, I don't need you, you need me. That wanted to peek out. Here we go. In the reverse. Knight of Wands in reverse, not a fan. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's a very me. And I told you, I just picked that up off that card, that he's above these people. He's about himself. This is somebody who doesn't need other people. I don't need other people. They need me. I don't need them. Are people disposable? I don't know. You know, this guy's looking at probably how many other congregants. They're just one of many. He's not really valuing these people, okay? This is a real snooty, like, the more I sit with it, and I'm telling you, I've had this deck, this is my favorite deck. I've had this for 8 years. I've never seen this card this way. This guy's looking down his nose like, I don't need you. You need me. And you pair it with that, it's this very selfish energy. This is somebody who wants instant gratification. They're incredibly self-concerned. They make hasty decisions, and they're not willing to put in the work. I mean, does he look like he's working for a relationship with these people? It looks like they're groveling at his feet. He doesn't think he needs to do anything to, I don't know who that is. This is something in the past, okay? I think I opened up something. This is definitely involving a fire sign, possibly a Taurus, where somebody looks like they don't need. Take it how it applies. I'm not a fan of that. This could be a marriage. This could be a commitment of some kind, or simply, and I'm leaning very strongly towards beliefs. Somebody believes that they don't need people, people need them. And they make very flighty, hasty decisions based on a belief system that is flawed, very flawed. But he's not going to ask their advice. He thinks he's above that. Okay. So I think y'all are moving on from maybe some idealism here. It could be a romantic offer with that Knight of Chalices. Could be a water sign again, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but I honestly feel this is somebody, the water. Am I drowning in it? I don't know. I might be. You know, if this has been somebody who has been a charmer, charming the pants off people, I don't know. very idealistic, very dreamy. I mean, they'll say I love you, but do they really know what love is? Like, love is taking another person's best interest as your own. That's not happening in the past here. This is a self-interested, self-concerned person. They're not really paying attention to how their decisions affect other people. In the future, it looks like someone's leaving behind that kind of pie in the sky thinking. And they could be moving towards being more heart-based in what they're putting out there to offer people, okay? And again, I'm seeing a couple, the main theme, and even in the future, there's some theme of letting the heart rule, following the heart, which I think is a beautiful thing, especially after that. That was pretty ugly right there. Let's see what's happening in the undercurrent with this moon card. There's something that I think you're not really seeing, okay? It's something kind of veiled and hidden, even in October, even with this solar eclipse. And I think that the way you're going to tap into it is through your intuition, okay? But some of you, there's emotions, maybe emotions of disappointment, fear, insecurity, that have caused you to not see things clearly. But Spirit has been asking you to not walk by faith. I mean, not walk by sight, but walk by faith. I butchered it. And that's I think the key with all this water that I'm seeing in this spread is that somebody was making decisions from a place of maybe a very mental space, a very fixed mental, this is the way it's got to be, or this is what I've got to do, or this is what I believe, or this is what's conventional or traditional, or what's expected of me. And super self-concerned, okay? Maybe living out of their passions, their ego, their mind. And Spirit is like, listen, if you're confused, if you're disappointed, you need to lean upon your intuition. You need to lean upon the things of the Spirit. You need to be more sensitive to the things in the emotional realm, your heart. Pisces might be playing a major role in this. Yeah, I mean, it's back again. I mean, there's a lot of, by the way, look at these three back to back. Knights. Knights are offers. In the past, what was being offered is me, 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 me. Now, 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 now. In the future, what's being offered is something more heart-based. At the foundation, Spirit, because that's major arcana, Spirit is trying to get you to take decisive action based upon your heart and your spirit informing you and leading you. The outcome, you have Two of Wands, so you will be making some plans and decisions. You do have some options ahead of you, but it looks like you're on guard, okay? It looks like maybe you're a little apprehensive. You're dealing with some anxiety about these choices, what direction you're going to go in. And you might need to look at the boundaries that you're keeping and maintaining with these choices, like not making decisions that would violate your own personal boundaries and that of others. and also decisions that are going to protect yourself and others. But this is a sign of the wounded warrior, so, and trials and tribulations. So I do want to caution you, you have some choices in the outcome that you do need to be on guard and cautious about, because if you do not choose wisely, it's going to be a rougher go of it than it has to be, okay? And again, I'm going to say that you probably will do best if you tune more into the things of the Spirit. Queen of Cups is at the foundation, so you could be reconciling with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or they might have prominent water placements. But again, it is this coming together and healing and reconciling something on an emotional level that brings about a level of emotional security. This is having more empathy. And again, look underneath is Cancer or Sagittarius. Temperance card, this is being spirit-led. This is healing. A lot of cards about emotional healing and having mastery and temperance, you know, like balance, okay? Harmony, emotional harmony through emotional sensitivity. Let's look at November. Let's look at November for Aries. Just show me November for Aries. At the foundation, you have the High Priestess, another sign, another indication of Pisces yet again. It's very Piscean, very 12th house, very Neptunian. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it's like this is super spiritual. This is having to do with what is hidden. This is having to do with spiritual discernment and tapping into psychic phenomena. Wisdom, which is truth applied to everyday life. Truth and knowledge applied to everyday life, living it out. Knowing that something maybe feels good or looks good, but ultimately nothing good will ever come of it. So you don't engage in that, right? But this could also have to do with hidden knowledge. So some of you may be uncovering some hidden knowledge, particularly starting honestly as soon as around the time of that lunar eclipse in September on the 17th. Well, actually, let me refine that and say, with all of the 9th and 8th house activity going on for you in October, it could start as around that time where things start opening up, definitely with Jupiter going retrograde in Gemini in your 3rd house. You come into the month of November getting a lot more spiritual insight, and it might have to do with matters that have been very much hidden or veiled, might even involve secrets for some of you. The main issue, Ten of Swords, there's been an ending. It's been painful. In the past, it looks like with the Knave of Pentacles, you had some good money news come in. It was a little crumb. I mean, wasn't the moon and the stars, but it might have also been a message, okay? And it could have come from somebody under 30, maybe a child, someone younger, a subordinate, possibly an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But I am also seeing it could just simply be some kind of new financial offer or opportunity that came in for you. Maybe just a goal that you set that was really solid. In the future, Nine of Pentacles. This is like having to do with self-sufficiency, and let me clarify in this particular deck, because this deck actually has a unique meaning for that, and it escapes me right now, but I'm being led to like look at it. Yeah, delay in realizing a work. This is some kind of incomplete satisfaction, okay? Usually it means self-sufficiency, okay? It can mean like Virgo, Miss Independent in the future, right? But in this particular deck, there's something that is still not complete. You are still not feeling fully satisfied. And there's that Hierophant is hinging this all together. Did you make some commitment to something? Did you put your belief in something? Are you supporting something that is creating this scenario where there's an ending here and you feel like you're not fully realizing work that satisfies you, even though maybe you got a good offer in the past? Is this actually satisfying you? In the outcome, Two of Pentacles, you are yet again weighing something out, which I saw over there as the main issue in October. So it's like this issue, whatever the main issue is in October, it's a continuation. In November. Honestly, it looks like a lot of monetary issues or values are coming up in November. And that's very unlike your opposite Libra. Libra looked like they were doing a lot of home and family stuff, focusing on that. For you, no. You are, it seems like there's a lot of intensity around values and money. But it's probably because of Pluto and Aquarius in your 10th house, and they had that placement in their 4th, their opposite, right? Just tell me more about this Ten of Swords. What is this Ten of Swords about? There's something again with, I don't know why I keep noticing people groveling. There's somebody groveling in that card. What is the deal with the groveling? I don't know why I'm seeing that. Has to do with expectations. Somebody was expecting something, and I'm being brought back to this Hierophant. What you expect, or what was expected out of you because of maybe tradition, status quo. And it looks like that's DOA. That's dead on arrival. Distant horizon, something about summertime, something about getting expansion, higher learning, higher knowledge. Again, I'm being brought back to beliefs, what you put your faith in, how you believe you're going to get expansion in this life. Something got snuffed out. And it is a little similar to Libra. Was this some pie in the sky stuff? Was this idealism that was just not based? Somebody getting their bubble busted. You know? There might be something long distance travel. Somebody waiting on you. Somebody waiting on you in a far away. But they feel they've been betrayed or defeated. They feel like, oh boy. Yeah, like it's over. Something is over. You might have put a lot of distance between you and the expectations of another person to just cut it off and end it. There might have been multiple losses, multiple wounds, and somebody put a lot of distance between them and these pain points. And I do feel it's because they didn't want to feel the expectations of others upon them. They don't want anything expected. They don't want expectation. But unfortunately, it's just, there it is again, traveling. Libra got a lot of that too. And it might be, there's some kind of legal contract that puts you, again, this is whatever in the past, prior to November, you had an offer, an opportunity to travel, maybe involving some kind of legality, some type of contract to travel long distance. It's wild. If you go watch the Libra reading, you're going to see a lot of travel coming up for them too. Also long distance, but in different cards. Wild. There we go. Okay, so I think that what has left you feeling like incomplete, like this is not totally satisfying, is that there's some concern about the family. Because I'm just, and then look at the 10s here, I'm just getting a lot of 10th house focus on money, status, career. But it looks like this is getting backburnered, or it's a casualty in this whole focus, 10th house focus on your public life. Well, the private life is taking a hit, and there's some kind of concern about something going on, and it might have to do with a single woman, an independent woman. This would be a woman who is self-sufficient, has more than enough for herself. Some kind of concern. It might be a family member, a single woman in the family. Now we get in the house again, just like Libra. I'm telling you. And this might also be because, you know, November in the United States is a time we gather with families for Thanksgiving. But there's something going on here about marriage, beliefs about marriage, family, being established in life, having a home, dating, but there's some kind of message of concern that maybe comes in. Maybe you get a letter or email or a text. You get some kind of message that comes in having to do with, I think it's a family member, honestly, but it could have to do with real estate, housing, where you are residing. But again, I'm getting a vibe like this is maybe somebody from a distance from you messages you about a housing situation. There's something going on with commitment, okay? There's something at the foundation here about beliefs. And this message that comes in November, it really might affect your beliefs. It might change what you are putting your faith in or the way you think things should be, having to do with having a settled life, having a settled partner. I feel like I could say so much more about that, but I'm gonna move on. With the Two of Pentacles and the outcome, you could be going from one location to another. Again, with travel being brought up so much, very possible you could also be going from one option. You're going through some kind of change. You're adapting to some kind of change. You're having to balance something out. And again, maybe come into some reprioritization. Still dealing with maybe this prioritizing matters of the heart or matters of the family, because I get also maybe the juggling act is having to do with concerns coming in about your private life, your family life, that are leaving you feeling like you're not quite fulfilled in what you're doing for a living. Some of you are just juggling finances, okay? Again, message, another message. This is wild. Concern, message of concern, message. I'm telling you, there's some message coming in and it might be far off, okay? But whatever's getting communicated to you, however it's getting communicated, it's pushing you to shift your priorities. It's pushing you to choose something different or adapt to some changes. You're having to balance something out, and I strongly suspect that it is balancing your public life versus your career. I mean, your public versus private life, your career versus your home. Sun wealth, okay, is at the foundation. So there might be a lot of money on the table, secretly, privately. But or you could be waiting on a lot of money to come in. And if you are waiting on money to come in, I think it will, okay? But it's a timing issue. When we're dealing with the High Priestess and money, we're looking at a timing issue. Let's go into December. December for Aries. Well, that just flipped. The Lover's card. Gemini may be relevant. There could be a conflict there. Or some kind of competition. It's not Gemini, it could be a partner, but it could be a soulmate. I'm gonna tell you, I just saw 2 of Cups there. So there could be a battle of wills between you and others, loved ones. And I'm definitely gonna say that with these eclipses, particularly the solar eclipse in your opposite sign of Libra back in October, that has brought up a lot of stuff. New beginnings with partnerships, significant others, contracts. And even around that 17th, that full moon in Aries, your first house. There's stuff going on with other people here. Alright, let's look at Aries. Okay. There's that 9 of Pentacles again, so we could be looking at a single woman. Miss Independent, right? Having more than enough. It's at the foundation. And remember, she came up in November. Could be a family member. We'll see. Main issue is Tower. Oof. This is a fallout of some kind, I'm sorry to say. We'll find out what it is in a moment. In the past, oh yeah, High Priestess, I told you that was at the foundation. There's secrets, there's things that you don't know, there's hidden knowledge, right? There's a need to tap into the intuition. There's a need to use discernment and wisdom. There's a need to be patient and wait on proper timing. That's in the past. Future, there you are. And that's a clean, brand new start. Maybe going on a journey again. But in the foundation, somebody's holding back. Maybe money, maybe values. In the outcome, somebody's thinking about something and looking into it. Maybe investigating, inquiring about something. So let's see what this fallout is. In December, my bad, for Aries. What is the Tower card about for Aries? Oof. Oh goodness. Oh wow. There may have been some kind of love offer to a soulmate, possibly an Aquarian. I'm also seeing Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces here. It not only was a love offer, it might be an offer for sex. Very interesting message. It looks like, again, the career issue is showing up, but this time with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, we've already seen her twice in the upright, but now she's in the reverse. as a main issue, as a fallout. It appears as though there is some, again, there's some issue with public versus private life. There's some issue with work versus family. There's potentially a matter here where someone has put their career ahead of relationships, or they have some sense of false success, but maybe they're dealing with setbacks, because I see holding back money. Somebody's being tight-fisted with the money. And it could also be self-worth issues, you know, like vanity, vain. Again, this ego that I saw from the very beginning. Me, how do I look? Where's my coins? You know, where's my money? Where's my accolades? And it's very much tied to this 10th house stuff, with career, with legacy, with generational wealth. And if this is not a sexual offer, this could be a new creative start with a career, where somebody has put money ahead of relationships. Might even be a travel related to career as well, where relationships and people take a backseat to career aspirations. Someone may be trying to put an offer to heal this. The signs I'm seeing here, like I said, are, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aquarius, possibly Virgo. And this might also have to do with idealizing some kind of ambitions with travel and career. And again, it's just so upside down, it's so lopsided, because there's no room for people. And this is not realistic based thinking at all, and that needs to get healed. In the past, that wanted to come out. Something about, you know, give and take, and what's being given on an emotional level, and someone needing to drop the burden. We have air sign yet again, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Making a logical decision about what's being given to. But again, I'm seeing somebody waiting on money to be given so that they can maybe heal something. Seems to be a lot of emotions attached to this, what's being given materially. But unfortunately, this looks like it's been a heavy burden, and it might be one person just carrying so much of a load alone. They got to drop it. Somebody burned out, somebody overextended. And it could also be that they feel like once this money comes in and is given, that they're going to be able to heal a matter of being overextended and burned out. And they'd be in a better place to then make some decisions with their life, and more logically make some choices that or plans for their life that are more strategic in terms of the direction that they're going to go in their life. It's like they're waiting on this. And I don't know why I just heard all of a sudden with that Fool card, and then all of a sudden all right. Oh, but it came in upside down. All right. Um, that's not an all of a sudden energy. That is a moving slower than molasses uphill in January energy. I mean, what the heck is that? Like, could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh, yikes. It looks like there is a clean slate of some type, but it's almost like all of a sudden somebody realizes that this is like not the surprise you were looking for. Okay, I'm getting this vibe like surprise, and you open up the gift and it's a shitty gift. I'm sorry, I hate to say that. Why? Somebody does not like what's being offered, clearly. Four of Cups in reverse. Deeply disappointed in the offer. Why? Because they feel like it's, I don't know, predictable. It's who cares. Not what they were looking for. It was not the reward that they were looking for. They might have felt like, well, I'm still stuck. So that's not making me happy. And again, I mean, this is like, wow. I don't know how many of you are still listening to this reading, because it is probably nothing you want to hear. With the Nine of Chalices in reverse, this is maybe somebody who wants their happiness at any cost. They may have overindulged in something. Sometimes it's a sign of narcissism. Personally, though, in this reading, I do believe that somebody was looking for stability and security, maybe with their coin, and they went after it at any cost. And the cost is that actually, emotionally, their cups are being poured out. And things are not really progressing. It's like they're stuck emotionally in this state of unhappiness. And they may be feeling that they are being neglected emotionally. And it's putting them in a place of self-concern, like, what about me? I'm not getting my cups filled up. But oh, wait a minute, did you do this because you wanted that coin at any cost? And now this is the cost. Your cups are empty. There is a need to come out of conflict with some people who have been soulmates. But unfortunately, what I'm also seeing here is a continuation of this emotional unavailability, emotional disconnect. What's really hard about this reading is that it's in December, it's during the holidays, it's coming into the new year, and it's almost like, and I don't know if this is from long distance travel or whatever, either you can't be with family or you're with family but you feel some emotional disconnect from them. You become very aware of what's not there on an emotional level. Either they're not emotionally available and you're being emotionally neglected, or there is some core emotional incompatibility going on. And if there were disagreements in the past, it may be, yeah, that there's been a breakup of some kind, or there's some kind of mistrust. Maybe somebody felt like they were rejected in the arrangement. There's intimacy issues here for one reason or another. And with that Five of Swords in reverse, someone maybe wants to come out of the conflict. But again, I'm seeing some kind of resentment. Maybe the tables have been turned on them because there was, in the past, an emotional connection. There was a disagreement, and now they want to come out of conflict. But in order to do that, they're going to have to show up with a cup, and the other person's going to have to bring theirs. The only cards up right here is the King of Pentacles, having to do with trust, stability, security, financial matters. Like, my advice is that, as bad as this looks, the way out of this is you're going to have to work on building trust and intimacy with loved ones, and prioritize those cups over those coins a little bit more. What's hinging this all together is somebody is hanging on to their money, okay? Somebody's very much clingy, self-protective about their values and their coins. And they've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, maybe led them to this place where they don't want to open up. They don't want to let down their guard. And it might have to do with cooperating with people, collaborating, sharing resources. They might have tried to cooperate with people in the past, and it was just a bunch of struggle, okay? And that might have been, again, with that Ten of Swords back there as the main issue in October. Somebody feels like I've already taken enough hits and I'm not taking any more. So now they're on guard about who they're cooperating with and collaborating with. But unfortunately, it's again, more of these pentacles is messing with the cups, the emotion, the spirit. The outcome is, well, somebody's gonna be in their head. Could be, it could be, just as I said, it could be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, heavy on the Libra. Although we did have an Aquarius show up here. But this is about karma as well. This is about cause and effect. Like, well, you know, if I invest over here, you know, it's gonna cost me something. What is the cost gonna be? It might be a legal matter. Oh boy. So if it's not a Libra or a karmic issue, it could be some kind of legal inquiry, all right? Somebody might be getting advice from an attorney. Thinking about the legalities of something. What's going to happen if I do this? What's going to happen if I do that? Like, thinking ahead of the long-term consequences of making a decision. This might have to do with a soul contract as well. Anything more? Yeah, I think this is about how to heal something, and I think somebody's trying to get the truth of the matter about how do they bring something into balance and healing. I think that's how you're going to close out the new year, is thinking about what is it that you have got to invest in so that the sun comes out again. This was in the reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Again, it could very strongly be a Libra or an Aquarius, I saw. But with her in the reverse, I mean, there's maybe some bitchiness, okay? I'm just going to be straight up with you. Like, and I'm a Queen of Swords, so, I mean, I'll own it. Yeah, this might be a woman who is coming across bitter or bitchy, and I'm not taking sides. Maybe she's got a good reason to do that. She may come across as though she's overly opinionated or judgmental. She may also come across like she's cut somebody off or out of her life. And I did see that the main issue is maybe an Aquarian. And there it is again with an Aquarian. Telling you. It's going to go one of two ways, okay? There could be some fallout, like I said. But there could also be somebody offering their cup and being loving and healing. There might be some kind of realization with that Tower card, some sudden awareness where they let something go, they release. And again, here's the Surrender card. This is so 12th house though. Let me see if I can leave you off with some advice on your direction over the remainder of the year for Aries. Everybody's got free will, okay? So with that Tower card, I mean, generally that is a fallout, but it could also be just a sudden awareness, an epiphany, and having to let go and release something that maybe has stood in the way of healing. Balancing act, gentle gardener, and at the foundation, stuck in the mud. Yeah, somebody's been stuck, and I kind of saw it, like you're waiting for things to take off and lift off, and it just, oh, hurry up to go nowhere, hurry up to wait, something like that. And I noticed something interesting here. You've got 11, which breaks down to 2, and you got 2, and then you got 2, 4. So there's a lot here about partnership with the 2s. And a lot about alignment and soulmates is what I'm seeing in this spread. And so let me read to you with that foundational card, stuck in the mud. I personally think that's what y'all been, you're at least sometime at the end of the year. If you're not feeling it now, you're probably going to feel it by December. You're being invited to stop and savor the wonder of your life. Becoming stuck is sometimes the only way to trick yourself into slowing down and looking around you. Especially if that Knight of Wands in reverse was your energy. Very scattered, very hasty. Now you're going to slow down, especially with Saturn coming up on your sign. Oh yeah. That's a timeout from the universe. But this is a sign that you need to shift your focus away from what you're doing and place your attention elsewhere. Struggling will only get you to even muddier places. Now is not the time to move forward, but to observe. Clarity about your circumstances will come a little later. Stop and find the joy in what you've been overlooking. Soon you'll be out of the mud, but for now, be still and know that Spirit has a plan for you. Oh yeah, I think honestly Aries is going to start appreciating their significant others in life a little bit more, if I may say so. And I'm not saying that you weren't before. It's just going to be a whole nother level of appreciation. And the Gentle Gardener card is saying, be your own person. Be a conscious co-creator. This is inviting you at this moment in your life to remind you that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create the reality you experience. She is the embodiment of the energy within you that is sent out into the field of co-creation and ensures that all you are is reflected in the world of form. Are you aware of your thoughts? What is their quality? Believe in limitless possibility and you will see miracles unfold. The Gentle Gardener guarantees the integrity of everything you send out into the world. Stay positive and expect a wondrous return. Your garden is abundant with beauty. I think this is about being a lot more sensitive, okay, and cultivating relationships. And then finally, you have the Balancing Act card. And that is about you having calm within, no matter the fluctuation of outer conditions. There are times when things seem a bit topsy-turvy and it feels as if you're juggling 1,000 balls in the air. Perhaps you're unsure of your footing. Now is the moment to evaluate which areas of your life need balance and then restore equilibrium. Choose harmony over discord, and great success will be yours. You'll find inner stability when you choose a balanced, focused, and level path. Something's out of balance, I think, here, Aries, but you definitely have Spirit leading you to do the personal healing work and self-awareness to find more balance in your life. And I really think it's between these 10th and 4th houses. And taking a gentler approach in cultivating these relationships so that you are getting your emotional needs met. And if you feel that you are stuck in the mud in any respect, especially coming into this new year when, frankly, we've got Saturn going into Aries May 24th of 2025. I think the purpose of it is to get you to slow down, look around at how precious these relationships are and where they need to be rightly prioritized in your life. I hope this has blessed you. Until next time, take care.